I stand in Lucas's childhood bedroom in our family home outside Denver. The late afternoon light filtering through the blinds and casting long shadows across the faded baseball posters on the walls. My fingers trace the edges of the handwritten note he's kept tucked in his desk drawer for 2 years now. The paper feels fragile, like it might crumble under too much pressure, but the words are burned into my memory. Sophia, when I get married, you're giving the speech. You're the one who knows me best. I smooth it out again, practicing the delivery in the mirror hanging on the back of the door. My voice starts steady but wavers when I reach the part about our shared childhood adventures in the Rockies. When I was 8, the words catch in my throat as I picture that summer afternoon on the winding mountain road. The car accident that left the thin silver line across my left cheek, nothing dramatic in the grand scheme, but enough to turn heads and spark whispers for the rest of my life. I clear my throat and start over, shoulders squared, imagining the wedding guests hanging on every word. My phone vibrates sharply against the wooden dresser, pulling me out of the moment. Lucas's name flashes on the screen with a text that feels like a slap. Hey, Soph. Last-minute switch. Claire's best friend is taking the maid of honor speech slot instead. Thanks for understanding. 25 years of sideways glances. Kids pointing on playgrounds. Adults averting their eyes politely. All of it pales next to these 12 words. My hand instinctively brushes the raised edge of the scar. A habit I thought I'd broken years ago. The tissue underneath warms as stress floods my body. I bolt down the narrow staircase, the framed family photos rattling against the wall with each step. Lucas and Claire are in the living room, heads close together over seating charts spread across Mom's antique oak table. Autumn sunlight pours through the large bay window, glinting off the engagement ring on Claire's finger, a massive diamond that screams country club perfection. You promised me, I say, my voice cracking despite my efforts to hold it steady. 2 years ago, right here in this house. They both look up. Lucas's face twists with discomfort, but Claire's expression settles into that practiced look of gentle concern, the kind people reserve for awkward relatives or charity fundraisers. She stands gracefully, brushing invisible wrinkles from her cream-colored blouse. Oh, honey, we just thought it might be distracting for everyone. This is such a meaningful day for us. We need the focus on the vows, the celebration, the joy. Her pause hangs heavy in the air, implying the rest. People like me don't belong in the spotlight. Lucas won't meet my eyes. His fingers drum nervously on his knee. The same tell from when we were kids, and he'd broken something valuable. It's Claire's day, he mumbles finally. Everything has to be perfect. The word perfect slices through me like the cold Colorado wind off the mountains. I close my eyes, flashing back to Lucas's college graduation on the sunny quad at the University of Colorado. He lifted me off my feet in a bear hug, laughing, Sis, you're my rock. When I get married, the speech is yours, no one else. Now, things have changed. Claire comes from old money, her socialite mother pulling strings at the Denver Country Club. Family dinners have turned tense, with Claire sliding glossy magazine clippings about advanced scar revision across the table. The techniques are incredible these days. Sophia. Barely noticeable. I watch my brother in this moment, seeing the exact second he chooses status over blood. The silence swells with memories, teaching him to ride his first bike on gravel paths, bandaging his scraped elbows after skateboard falls, standing up to bullies who targeted him in middle school. All of it seems erased by Claire's perfectly manicured hand resting possessively on his arm. This is a high society event, Claire continues, her voice sweet but edged. We want polished moments. Her gaze flicks briefly to my cheek before darting away. Lucas says nothing. His silence chokes the room like thick smoke. This stopped being about a speech the moment I realized they were erasing me from their perfect narrative. hiding me like an embarrassing family secret. My fingers crumple the edges of the note in my pocket. Years of love condensed into unwanted paper. Tears prick behind my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall here. You're right, Lucas, I say, surprised by how steady my voice sounds. It should be perfect. I turn and walk away before they can reply, catching Claire's small, satisfied smile in my peripheral vision. She thinks she's won, that I'll slip quietly into the background. She has no idea what's building inside me. Upstairs again. That crumpled note waits like a promise still owed. Maybe it's time for a different kind of perfect, one that reveals the cracks beneath the surface. The next day, while heading to meet an old friend for coffee downtown, I overhear Claire's voice through the slightly ajar door of the home office. You can't seat her anywhere visible during dinner. The photographer needs flawless shots. I freeze in the hallway, heart pounding. Through the crack, shadows move as the wedding planner paces. Table 22 in the back corner should work. Lighting's softer there anyway. Claire's heels click closer. And, you got my note about special considerations? Yes. Facial differences, sister of the groom. Make sure photos are angled properly. The silver-framed picture of us at Lucas's high school graduation trembles in my hand as I set it down, backing away quietly. Up in Dad's old office, boxes of wedding details cover the desk. My hands sort mechanically until I find the envelope to the planner. Inside, typed instructions, special considerations, facial differences, sister of groom. Adjust seating and photography accordingly. My phone buzzes with a video call from my best friend Rachel. I heard about the speech change. Maybe it's better this way. But another notification interrupts, an email thread from Lucas to relatives, trying to be sensitive to everyone's comfort regarding Sophia's situation. My situation. Like I'm a problem to manage. The leather chair creaks as I sink into it, grounding me in childhood memories of sitting here while Lucas played downstairs. A knock sounds. Aunt Margaret stands in the doorway, silver hair glowing in the light. Sarah told me everything. She's livid about how they're treating you. Her face hardens when I mention the seating chart. That girl's been climbing social ladders since kindergarten. I knew something was off when she started excluding you from planning. Texts pour in from cousins supporting me. But Claire's follow-up warning arrives. Any drama, and you're uninvited. This is my day. Lucas echoes. Don't ruin this for me. After heated calls, Aunt Margaret secures me a seat at the family table. A hollow when accompanied by Lucas's cold reply, be grateful you're invited at all. As sunset gilds the walls, I reread his old note. Everything feels sharp-edged now. Then a message from Sarah. The venue has an open mic family tribute tradition during reception. They can't stop you from speaking. Electric energy surges through me, the same rush I felt before debate tournaments in college. They wanted perfection. Maybe they'd get it. But on my terms. Outside, birds wheel across the darkening sky. My scar catches the last light like a mark of survival. I've spent 25 years learning to speak with this face. I'm done being grateful just to exist in the shadows. 3 days later in my downtown Denver apartment, Claire's Instagram feed scrolls past, bridal shower highlights, bachelorette trip to Aspen, dress fittings with her mother. Not a single photo includes me. Captions gush about, surrounding myself with beautiful people for my perfect day. The rehearsal dinner invitation sits on my desk. Pristine cardstock with a handwritten note in Claire's looping script. We trust you'll understand the need for appropriate behavior. The family group chat fills with photos of the walkthrough, champagne fountains, string quartet, oyster bar. Only the finest for our angel, Claire's mother writes. Everything flawless. I slam the phone down, knocking over a box from my closet purge. Debate trophies spill out, glass catching the light. The memory of state finals senior year floods back, standing at the podium post-accident, hands shaking from nerves and whispers in the audience. But my voice never faltered. I touched the scar, remembering how I learned to command the stage and force people past first impressions. A message from my support group lights up. Your voice matters more than their comfort. Don't let anyone silence you. The old speech I wrote for Lucas, 2 years of memories and secrets, waits in my drawer. The words still ring true, but they feel insufficient now. This is bigger than one speech. It's about claiming my place. The rehearsal dinner at the exclusive Crystal Ballroom in the Westin Hotel beckons like a challenge. I picture them practicing toasts while I stay home like a secret. No, I whisper. Then louder. I grab my keys. Half an hour later, the lobby sparkles with chandeliers. Polite laughter and clinking glasses drift down the marble hall. My heels echo as I enter the ballroom. Claire's mother stands giving her toast. Flute raised. To the most beautiful couple. A perfect match for a perfect life. I step forward. I have something to say about real family values. Heads turn. Lucas jumps up. Sophia, please. Aunt Margaret rises. Let her speak. Chaos erupts. Cousin James spills water as distraction. Servers rush in. It buys me seconds. I pull out the new speech. Not the sentimental one. When I was 8 years old, my voice carries clearly through the hush. I learned some people mistake visible marks for deeper flaws. They'd rather hide discomfort than confront their own biases. Tears glisten in some eyes. Claire's composure cracks. Get out. You're ruining everything. I meet her gaze. No, Claire. You did that when you chose your perfect day over erasing your fiancé's sister. The room fractures. Some guests shift away. Others move closer in support. Lucas stands frozen between factions. I smooth my skirt at an empty table. I'll be at your wedding. Lucas. Because real family shows up. Later that night, Sarah, Aunt Margaret, and I gather in my apartment. The open mic tradition offers the perfect stage. I'll create the moment, Aunt Margaret says with a wink. I've worked rooms like this for decades. Sarah adds, I'll capture it all on video. Claire texts triumphantly. We've canceled the open mic. Don't bother. I smile at my allies. She has no idea about backup plans. The wedding day arrives. The elevator opens to the grand ballroom of the Denver Hilton. My reflection in brass doors shows a charcoal silk dress. Pearls at my throat. Scar unhidden. Sarah waits with clipboard and walkie-talkie. Sound systems ready. DJ owes me. Table 12 set. Signal with James. She squeezes my arm. You sure? Nevermore. The prepared old speech weighs heavy. But new words burn brighter. Inside. Chandeliers cast warm light over 200 guests. Security lingers near bar and cake, Claire's influence. Ice sculptures gleam. Staff in crisp gloves. My phone buzzes. Lucas begging no scene. The maid of honor gives a generic toast full of Pinterest platitudes. Claire beams in designer gown. Hand on Lucas's arm. His eyes avoid mine. Dinner passes slowly. Champagne flows. The first dance begins. Aunt Margaret signals from table 12. Music cuts abruptly. Confusion spreads. Sarah guards the DJ. I step forward. Wireless mic in hand. Before we continue, someone needs to be heard. Claire signals security frantically. James blocks them with a spilled drink distraction. Relatives form a circle around me. The photographer clicks away. Guests murmur about seating and whispers spread. Many received instructions tonight about visibility and keeping certain guests less prominent. Lucas steps forward haltingly. Sophia. I hold up the paper. This is the speech I promised 2 years ago, the one about teaching you to ride bikes in the foothills. Holding your hand through mom's health scare. Being your anchor. The room holds its breath. Claire's nails dig into her palms. I unfold the pages slowly, letting them flutter to the floor like falling leaves. But that's not what you're hearing tonight. Claire surges forward in white silk, veil trailing. She's destroying our special day. Security in dark suits advances through the hall, earpieces glinting. Lucas grabs my arm, fingers trembling. I'm begging you. For a split second, I see the boy who crawled into my bed during mountain thunderstorms. The mic warms in my hand. 200 guests lean in, phones raised. Aunt Margaret nods encouragement. Sarah positions protectively. I glance at the old speech one last time. Memories of unconditional love from a different version of me who still believed in fairy tales. I'm not here to share childhood stories about Lucas. My voice echoes in the perfect acoustics. I'm here to talk about what family truly means. Claire freezes. Her mother swallows hard, pearls catching light. 2 months ago, I received this. I hold up my phone showing the email, special considerations, facial differences. Seat away from photo angles. Gasps ripple. A glass shatters. Here's the seating draft. I unfold the paper, pointing to the asterisk. Problematic appearance. Table 27. Behind column. Lucas pales. Those were private, like the group text explaining my situation to relatives. Or Claire's note about extra editing time for the videographer to minimize my presence. Claire's mother stands. This is inappropriate. What's inappropriate? I counter. Fingers brushing my scar for strength. Is teaching your daughter that looks matter more than character. That excluding family who don't match your aesthetic is acceptable. Security halts as Aunt Margaret and cousins form a barrier. Sarah records everything. A wedding celebrates love and family, not perfection. Not social climbing. Not curated flawless images for your club friends. Lucas moves without conviction. You don't understand what's at stake. I understand exactly. You chose appearances over substance. Instagram moments over your sister's love. You let Claire edit me out one suggestion at a time. Claire's mascara runs. You're just jealous and bitter. Ruining everything because you can't handle beauty. The word hangs. True beauty comes from character, I reply. From standing up for right. From loving people as they are, not as you wish. I drop the mic. It cracks loudly on the floor like thunder. Half the room erupts in applause. Led by Aunt Margaret. 3 tables of relatives gather belongings and exit in solidarity. Lucas stands alone on the dance floor. Claire retreats to the suite. Mother following with comforts. Messages flood my phone, support from cousins, old friends, even Lucas's roommate. One notification cuts deepest, a childhood photo of us laughing at the lake. Time-stamped 10 years ago. I walk out head high. Evening air carrying rose scents from the garden where we once held a pet funeral. Sarah catches up. You did it. As the valet brings my car, I wonder about victory's cost. The brother who defended me from bullies, swore to champion me. Have I lost him forever? The answer waits in the future beyond this shattered night. For now, I drive from the wreckage toward possibility. My scar glows in moonlight like a badge. Let them keep perfect photos. I'll take imperfect truth. 2 years later, the conference room hums with quiet anticipation as I adjust notes at the podium. 300 faces look back, each carrying their own visible stories, port wine stains, surgical scars, burn marks rippling like art across skin. My people. Welcome to the first annual Visible Voices Summit. My voice fills the Seattle Convention Center hall. Steady and resonant. 3 months ago, this felt impossible. Now, seeing this sea of beautiful imperfection, I can't imagine anywhere else. Sarah waves from the back, tablet in hand, managing calls from cities eager for satellite events. She flashes a thumbs up. Aunt Margaret beams from the board seats. Silver hair spotlighted. My phone vibrates, likely another media request after the Washington Post piece went viral. Wedding speech rejection ignites national acceptance movement. Being disinvited became the invitation to find my real voice. The first speaker, a teen with a prominent birthmark blooming like sunset across her forehead, approaches confidently. Shoulders back. Voice clear. She shares her journey. My heart swells recalling her approaching me after my TED Talk. You showed me I don't have to hide. She's one of 20 scholarship recipients in our public speaking program. A notification pings, an invitation from cousins James and David. Our ceremony needs a speech from the cousin who taught us real family. Will you? My fingers trace the scar, a gesture of joy now. I reply, wouldn't miss it. Same dress. Applause follows her speech. I rise to introduce the next, but movement at the back doors catches my eye. A familiar figure slips into the last row inconspicuously. Lucas. Thinner. Tired. Our eyes meet across the crowd. His morning text, can we talk about forgiveness? After the wedding fallout. He lost his marriage and needed time to confront truths, slowly seeking reconciliation. This time, I need more. I let my gaze linger one heartbeat, then turn back to the microphone and my purpose. Hundreds wait. Our next speaker reminds us beauty isn't perfection, it's about rising. The day unfolds vibrantly. Documentary interviews, strategy sessions, parents finding hope. During lunch, Sarah nudges. Your book hit bestseller lists. The uninvited voice at number 3. Publisher requests second printing. Talk show calls continue. Aunt Margaret hugs me. I always knew you'd change lives. A commotion at registration draws attention. A mother and daughter stand hesitant, the girl's hand covering her face. Fear radiates, the same I carried for decades. I excuse myself and approach.
I'm Sofa.
Would you like to hear about a girl who thought she had to hide? Her hand lowers slowly, revealing a healing scar. Eyes widen at mine. You're pretty, she whispers. So are you. I extend my hand. Want to meet other amazing people? Afternoon panels cover advocacy, confidence workshops, mentorship expansion. My notebook overflows. At 5. I step outside for air. Seattle's skyline glimmers, mountains purple against sunset. Lucas's text, your speech was beautiful. I should have known 2 years ago. I breathe deeply. The old me would rush to fix. Smooth discomfort. The new me takes time. Inside. Voices rise, unique. Valuable.
Unsilenced.
My tribe. My mission. I reply, I'm still rising. Then I return where perfectly imperfect people await the next chapter. Not the end, just the beginning. The summit continues with powerful testimonials, coffee-fueled networking, and parents exchanging journeys of raising visibly different children. During a break, a young man with burn scars shares how my viral wedding clip gave him courage to speak at his own family event. Stories like his multiply, each one proof that pain transformed into purpose ripples outward. My phone keeps buzzing with requests, podcast appearances, school speaking gigs, partnerships with medical advocacy groups. The movement grows faster than I planned. As evening sessions wrap, I reflect on the journey from that childhood bedroom confrontation to this stage. The scar that once defined others' discomfort now symbolizes resilience. Lucas lingers near the exit after the final panel, waiting awkwardly. We step aside into a quiet hallway. Sophia, I've been watching everything you've built. The summit, the book, the scholarships. It's incredible. His voice carries regret. After Claire left, I had to face what I allowed to happen. I chose the easy path, the polished image. Instead of standing by you, I listen. The weight of 2 years settling between us. Memories surface unbidden, the bike rides, the hospital waits, the sibling bond that once felt unbreakable. I didn't want revenge that day, I tell him softly. I wanted truth. Family isn't about flawless photos or social approval. It's about showing up, scars and all.
He nods.
Eyes glistening. I get that now.
Can we?
Start over? Slowly. I pause.
Considering.
Forgiveness isn't instant. But doors don't have to stay closed forever. I'm open to talking. But my focus is here now, giving voices to those still learning they don't have to hide. We exchange tentative numbers. He leaves with a small, hopeful smile. Back in the main hall, the final speaker raps to thunderous applause. Sarah joins me, another city confirmed for next year. This is just growing. Aunt Margaret adds proudly, you've turned personal betrayal into collective healing. Later that night in my hotel room overlooking the city lights, I review photos from the day, the teen speaker's proud stance, the mother's relieved embrace with her daughter, the diverse faces united. The original promise Lucas made feels distant, rewritten by time and truth. What began as exclusion became foundation for something larger, a community refusing silence. I trace the scar again, no longer seeking comfort, but drawing quiet power. The question lingers like an echo. What defines family when perfection cracks? For me, it's the courage to rise together. Imperfect and unapologetic. Tomorrow brings more workshops, more stories, more lives changed. My reflection in the window shows strength earned through fire. Let old illusions fade. This imperfect truth lights the way forward, one voice at a time.